After 5 intense hours inside the Kremlin, Trump's envoys walked out empty-handed, while President Vladimir Putin declared that Europe is not seeking peace, but preparing for war. The US delegation arrived believing it could force concessions, but Moscow made it unmistakably clear. Russia decides the terms, not Washington, not Kyiv, and certainly not Europe.
Our president just finished talks with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. The conversation was useful, constructive, very substantive. Not 5 minutes, but 5 hours. We discussed prospects for long-term peace. Some proposals were acceptable, others drew our criticism. But both sides confirmed readiness to continue joint work.
Putin's top aide, Yuri Ushakov, delivered the blunt summary: no progress, no compromise, no movement. The talks collapsed at the same sticking point: Russia's demand for full control of Donbass. Moscow dismissed the revised US-Ukraine 20-point plan as absolutely unacceptable, accusing Washington of trying to rewrite battlefield reality with diplomatic paperwork.
No compromise solution has been found yet. The territorial question is the most important issue for us and the Americans. Some proposals are more or less acceptable, others are completely unsuitable. Work will continue, but the key issues remain unresolved.
Russian officials say negotiations stalled because the US continues to push a deal that Zelensky cannot enforce and Ukraine cannot survive. Moscow emphasized that Kyiv's leadership is politically bankrupt, militarily exhausted, and strategically irrelevant. Russia insists only Washington has decision-making power, and even Washington is losing influence as Europe fans the flames of war.
It's important that this should be all open and fair and just, so there would be no going behind Ukraine's back. Nothing would be decided without Ukraine, about our future.
Putin accused European governments of deliberately sabotaging peace by feeding Kyiv illusions and blocking compromises. He warned that Western Europe is trying to prolong the conflict at any cost, driven by anti-Russian hysteria and internal political desperation. Putin's message was sharp. If Europe wants escalation, escalation is what it will get.
They are on the side of the war. Even when they try to introduce changes to Trump's proposal, all their amendments are aimed at one thing: to completely block the peace process with demands absolutely unacceptable for Russia. Their goal is to blame Russia for the collapse. We see it clearly.
Officials say Trump's envoys presented a patchwork of proposals, 20 points and 4 add-ons, trying to freeze Russian gains without acknowledging Russian sovereignty. Moscow rejected them instantly. Russia will not withdraw, will not trade territory, and will not negotiate under Western pressure. Ushakov reiterated, Donbass is non-negotiable, period.
There was a document of 27 points. We read it, but did not work on the wording. Then 4 more documents came, all discussed today. The talks were closed in secret. Our American colleagues will now report to Trump directly.
While Washington tries to broker a deal, Russia is expanding its military advantage on the ground. Kremlin sources say the US delegation appeared urgently seeking a political exit, driven by American fatigue, global instability, and Zelensky's collapsing domestic support. Moscow says it feels no pressure to rush because time favors Russia.
Kupiansk has been under our control for weeks. Ukrainian leadership seems to live on another planet, traveling, begging for money, not knowing the frontline situation. Russian troops control both banks entirely. Fighting continues, and full control is only days away.
The Kremlin says meetings will continue at the expert level, but warns there will be no breakthrough until the West accepts new realities. Russia has the momentum, Europe is fractured, and Ukraine is on the brink, leaving Washington with dwindling leverage. The message from Moscow tonight is unmistakable. Russia will talk, but Russia will not bend.
We are not going to have a war with Europe, but if Europe suddenly wants to wage a war with us and starts it, we are ready immediately. And if piracy at sea continues, we will expand strikes on port facilities and may even cut Ukraine off from the sea entirely.
Russia holds all cards. Kyiv flounders in chaos. Europe fumes, but Moscow sets the terms. Unshakable, unstoppable.